Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. This week we are showcasing the Iowa Speedway, which is a very interesting challenge. So strap in and let's get to it. As always, in all of these videos that we do for this car, we'll cover shifting first. I did this run in 5th gear. Now, it is worth noting that 4th gear is an option. I just don't think it's helpful at all. The gearing is so close and you have so much more RPM on corner exit that for me it's really hard to be consistent putting the gas down and getting that consistent drive off. It just kind of feels like you're spinning the tires, so I just leave it in 5th. And the reason for that is so that you feel like you're getting a better launch off. It feels a lot easier on your equipment, and you don't wear the tires in the rear anywhere near as much as you do if you're in 4th. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, for me, we'll talk about that little slide in turn 3 there in a second. For me, the big thing to get around Iowa is the arc. Now, in the first couple laps while I was doing the intro, you saw that I was a little shallow. It might look like a pretty decent arc, but for this track, that's really shallow. So if you want, it's worth going back to watching the first couple laps and seeing what I feel like is a normal arc just about anywhere else, and then compare it to what we're doing at this point. It's a really wide arc, and the reason you want this wide arc, this is how you're going to carry your corner speed. Okay, if somebody wants to dive under you, passing on the bottom here is really difficult as long as you're taking care of your tires. And the reason for the bigger arc is, first off, we're letting off way sooner than you think. This is not a racetrack where you want to charge and attack the corners. Okay, this is a racetrack where you're not tiptoeing around, but you're very passive around. That's the way to make speed here. I know it sounds crazy, but to get around Iowa, especially to be competitive, you don't want to be attacking the corner and charging the corner and diving into the corner. Okay, this is a racetrack where you're very passive. You're lifting way sooner than you think, and the reason for that is because if you don't, what happened in turn 3 earlier, I think by second lap, I overdrove the bottom by just a little bit, and it got really, really loose. Okay, you saw me have to chase the car and save it. Okay, and it's like that throughout an entire run here. When you start racing your competition and trying to outdrive the other person by driving in deeper, you really get in trouble here. Okay, now turn 3, you see this line that I'm running right here. This used to be the best way around the racetrack. Before we had dynamic track, even when we had dynamic track back in the day, the bottom has always been good. The bottom is great for saving tires in turn 3. The problem is it's just not as fast. It's good. Like, if you can wrap the bottom and make speed, you're doing really good. But this line right here in turn 3, you get to get in the gas sooner, you carry a little more corner speed, and there's enough grip to where you really get a good run off the corner. Okay, both lines are an option. In turn 1, I wouldn't go any higher than that second lane. The first 2 lanes are about equal on grip, so if somebody gets under you, it's really easy to defend. Okay, you don't have to feel like, just because they're under me, they're going to get by and leave you. The top in both ends is competitive. The top in 3 and 4 is a lot better, but the bottom is still the best way to save your tires. And having better tire wear is everything around here. So you can see in the in-car just how wide this arc is. Okay, let the car fall to the yellow line and then get on the gas. This isn't a racetrack where you want to rush anything. Okay, when I run a lap on the bottom, the next lap, I'll slow it down and show you where my visuals are to get back in the gas. But you can see the top in 3 and 4. You just carry a lot more speed. Okay, it's great for later in the run. I wouldn't recommend doing it earlier in the run. I'm just doing it in this video to show you the difference. But if I was running one of these races, I'd be running the bottom for as long as possible and trying to save my tires so that when the time comes to run this line, you've got a lot more speed. Now, because this track is so short, I'll replay this lap with no commentating for you. Actually, I might just do the last 3 laps with no commentating, but I wanted to slow this down here. Now, visually, we'll hide this for a second. We're going to see the yellow line end up here, okay? This is to get onto pit road. Look at my throttle. Yes, I'm holding it through the center a little more than I would like to, but I'm trying to wait till I get past here, okay? Now, the reason for that is you're so far off the corner. The goal that I'm having is to keep the car as low as I can on exit. If I'm getting like into the gas, say somewhere back here, okay, it's going to get really tight, and then you're going to crank a lot of wheel into it, and if you're still on the gas, it's going to snap loose, okay? And that's what makes it really tough. Like, this isn't a racetrack where you want to be really aggressive. This is a racetrack where you're almost tiptoeing your way around. So I get past that line to pit road, the nose is pointed straight off the corner, and I'm trying to keep the wheel as straight as I can. I'm not trying to have a lot of wheel input, okay? Yes, you're going to have wheel input in the center of the corner. That's natural. But when you're getting into the gas and trying to come off this corner, you want to keep the wheel as straight as possible. And you're trying to let the nose point itself off. Because if you're trying to force it, you're going to have a lot of handling issues happen. Okay. So I'll play these last 3 laps for you guys with no commentary so you guys can get a visual for both the top and the bottom. Okay, guys, another thing that I want to mention real quick at the end of this, it's really important to let the car do the work. If you notice when I'm doing my laps, I do all of my braking initially on corner entry, and then just off of everything, right? You see, I'm just letting the car roll. Let the car do the work for you. Again, there's no sense in trying to be super aggressive around this track. This is not the car that you want to be really aggressive around here. The Xfinity car drives a lot different around here. That's a car that you can be a lot more aggressive with. But at the same time, Iowa is just one of those tracks where it doesn't really pay off to be super aggressive. Okay, this is a racetrack that you're not necessarily tiptoeing around, but you're being very careful around. That way you can save your tires, and you're also going to be a lot more consistent, and consistency is everything around Iowa. Okay, guys, that'll do it for this week's video. If you guys find that the video was helpful, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave a comment down below, and we will get to them throughout the week. Lastly, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you guys can see these videos every Monday when they're uploaded to Maconi's YouTube page. Okay, best of luck this week, and we'll see you on the track. Good luck.